What is up? What is up? Welcome, you guys. I'm excited to talk today about Light It Up Expo and Sterling Lighting, our partnership, next month. It's happening next month. So thanks for joining me, Mr. Patrick Harders.
How you doing, Ryan? Great to be here.
Man, I'm excited. I know you're doing work meetings and planning and all that stuff, which is awesome because honestly, I don't think most people do that. So I'm like, man, I caught you being a good example. So thanks for taking time out of your day.
Yeah, we're doing our annual planning meeting, which can't recommend that strong enough. Like if it's a little slower, great time, January, you kind of set your goals, your mission, and what you want to accomplish, and then picking the 3 to 5 big things you're going to try and tackle for the quarter and for the year. And so highly encourage it to everybody. Easy to just get busy.
I love it. Well, we're talking about Light It Up Expo. It's already happening next month. And good news is we've got a lot of support from vendors and we're starting to sell a lot of tickets. So it's going to be an awesome show, guys. For those of you that don't know, if you're looking to add on landscape lighting, I keep getting messages, not quite daily, but multiple per week. People saying, hey, when's your next training event? How do I learn landscape lighting? This is the show. Come to Light It Up Expo. We have a breakout dedicated to help you bolt on landscape lighting. And if you already know landscape lighting, you want to bolt on permanent lighting or holiday lighting, we have breakouts for those. We've got amazing vendor floor. We've got lunch included with your ticket. We got speakers. We've got the networking. We've got an open bar Thursday and Friday night in the vendor hall. So I think that's like
always trouble
for people. Yeah. It might be the best thing we've ever done or the worst thing. We'll find out. But it's going to be great. So basically what we're doing is we're doing a raffle. And Patrick's going to go over that in a few minutes. But all of our vendors are stepping up in a major way. So if you buy a ticket this month, and today is actually the 15th, so our prices are going up tomorrow. But if you want to pay more, then just wait till tomorrow if you hate money. But if you buy a ticket this month, you're automatically entered to win the raffle. And Patrick will talk about their really cool thing that they're giving away. They're actually giving away a few things. So Patrick, before we get into that, tell us about Sterling Lighting for those people that don't know about Sterling and why should people pay attention to Sterling?
Well, I started Sterling Lighting in 2011. I had been involved in installation designs since 1999. And really, I had so many problems, so many issues with the products that were being offered. Nothing was meeting the quality I wanted. So I just decided I'm going to start working and building the solutions. I was hoping to get a manufacturer to come in and see the vision that I had and build it out. It just didn't happen. So I built Sterling Lighting. I still run my landscape design installation company. And so I'm out in the field all the time doing sales, installing lights, servicing, maintaining, building a big infrastructure. And Sterling is it's the product I needed to scale my business. So I think it's always different when an engineer designs a product versus somebody has knowledge and uses a product, because we always get these things. I give the example of changing my son's oil, and I was like, who designed where this oil filter's at? And it's an engineer who never thought about the service side of things. So
exactly,
Sterling is really what allowed me to scale my business by simplicity, quality, ease of service, reliability, all of that we built into the product line.
Dude, I love it. That's a great example because we've all had those experiences where we're like, we know an engineer designed this and they've never done this thing. And it's like, why wouldn't you just ask a few people who've done the thing, like who've done the oil change or who've done lighting or whatever. And for some reason, there's that disconnect. So I love that. Talk about your background as a lighting designer, because I think that's unique. I think that's awesome. And you're still in it. I mean, I'll talk to you and you're like, yeah, I just closed a deal, or I just was out doing a night set or something like that. What do you like better? You like being a lighting designer or lighting manufacturer?
I think they're both. It's kind of two puzzles that I like, putting those puzzle pieces together, like two different challenges. I had a good friend who is a lighting designer, designed some fixtures. He said, after I got done with the design of it, I felt like I was just selling widgets. And I keep on looking like, I still am not at the point that I've perfected exactly what I want in products, but I'm getting closer and closer. It's just daily improving it. But I love design. I love the design standpoint. And it's one thing that if you've never done design, those moments where you take that risk where it's like, I think your property is going to look best this way. And you have to convince the customer to spend their money to go through all that. And then I just had a project and it was like that hour of waiting for it to get dark to see if what I visioned came to reality and I did it right. And it's nerve wracking, especially when there's, $20,000, $50,000 involved. I'm like, I've got to get this right. My reputation's on the line. So I love the challenge of both, and it really keeps it fresh for me. I think it's a great challenge. I get to work with a lot of great lighting designers and get input from them. So, for me, it's just a, fun life.
So, is it safe to say that every time I see Sterling release a new light, it's because you came up with a new idea on a design, and you're like, you know what we need, and then the new product is born?
I have a couple times. A number of our products have come from our lighting designers. Like Andrew Schwindler helped me on a design last year, but there's a lot of things I have in my mind that I'm like, and it might take like 2 years from like concept to working out the concept to building it out to getting the prototype to going through the whole thing, then putting it in the field, trying it out. But yeah, they're all designs I see and things I see in the industry. And a number of years ago, I was at AOLP. They asked me like, where is the innovation in lighting going to come? And I was like, better electronics, better light quality, better optics, better coatings. Like, and really going back to building products that are long-lasting products. And I think I've told you the analogy I always say is like the old refrigerators that our grandparents had that lasted 30 years, and we buy a $10,000 refrigerator that's all plastic and crap, and the ice machine never works. And
Yeah.
it's like, I want to get away from the gimmicks and get into like, hey, I put in a lighting system, I could trust it, rely on it, and it's going to perform great and it's going to last a lifetime. So that's my mission, and we're still striving to perfect it.
Nice. Well, there's a lot of new people entering in the industry. They're seeing that landscape lighting is something they can bolt on to their existing business. They can, basically instead of start a new location for their existing holiday lighting business, they could just like offer something new to their existing clients. But one of the things they struggle with is design and kind of like fixture selection, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of different manufacturers to choose from. And then when you kind of decide, okay, I think I'm going to roll with this kind of manufacturer for most of my stuff, they're just like, well, man, there's so many different fixtures and beam spreads and stuff like that. What do you tell people to simplify, just for their first project, simplify design and so they don't get overwhelmed?
I think the first thing is just getting experience, and you're really going to do it. I did nighttime demos for 15 years. So, and I forget that I hate doing demos. I personally I hate going out at night and spending all this time doing it, but it is what gave me my foundation. So I was like at my house, having lighting there, having a demo kit to show, because if you don't have that experience of knowing exactly what that light's going to do, you don't want to skip that step. So, those are things that are helpful. Obviously, like I run a large business and I don't do any nighttime demos at this point and haven't for years. But I think getting that experience is helpful, talking to other lighting designers, joining, your group and other organizations, ILI and organizations like that can help on design. And there's also a lot of people in the industry that can really help out on, there's a lot of experience in this industry, and it's a really giving industry, which is unusual.
Yeah, yeah, very cool. Yeah, one of the things inside our program, I'm kind of putting this list together of like, hey, if you do these things, I will guarantee you results. It's like everyone wants this output. They have this desired outcome, but like you can't just think about being successful and it happens. You have to actually like have the roadmap. So like
Yeah.
one of the inputs, I'm like, you have to go do 20 demos.
Yep.
um, and maybe more, but like minimum 20. Because like if I'm like, we teach design in our program, like the basics, like, this is where you should use a spotlight. This is where you should use a wash light. Here's what the optics do and stuff like that. But if I teach someone like how to ride a bike online and I just tell you, like, you're like, oh, I think I got that. But you're going to have to go fall and crash at least once to find out how not to crash. So that's what the demo does. Like you're going to get out there and you're gonna be like, okay, he said put it about 15 inches away from the house. And you're going to do that. And you're going to be like, that kind of looks funky. Like
There's
there's
a
this
weird
huge
shadow
shadow.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you'll move it and you go, okay, so not every house is the same, or there's a tree in the way, or there's a shrub in the way, or whatever it is. So yeah, I love that idea. And I think anyone new, and even if you're an existing company, when you hire on a new lighting designer, you're like, that person should go out and do 20 to 30 demos to get that experience, not just like with the intent to like actually convert a sale and make money, which obviously that's the goal of growing business, but like
Yep.
almost just as a training grounds to learn how to talk to clients, what questions asked, bounce ideas off people, and see what a light 10 inches away from something versus 36 inches away from something will look like.
Yeah. And I think one of the great things about lighting design, it's artistic, it's beautiful, but the deeper you go into it, the more you realize you have to learn. And so, like, I think I've grown more in the last 5 years than I did all the way up to that point. And when I'm 20 years into it, I thought I knew everything. And I think you'd probably say the same thing as like, as we go deeper into it, like I was sitting on my porch one night with my son and, I'm looking at the lighting and I just went and started making minute adjustments. And I'm like, oh, that looks better. This looks better. And it's like things that I never would have thought of. When I started off, it was like, all right, 35-watt halogen light. This one goes here. And they just all the same. And then like tweaking it and making that soft adjustment where maybe you take the light level down a little bit or increase it a little bit and seeing the difference that makes, taking a step back. And it's something that I think we're continually learning on and really seeing how it makes you feel, because light it transfers emotionally. Like it makes you feel a certain way. So, when you have great lighting, it eases tension, it does all of that. So it's something that it really is that the little details that make lighting design great.
Yeah, man, I love our industry. I love what we get to do because often I think about like my life's choices and how I ended up where I'm at, and should I have done something else, and all these things.
Lighting design
One,
was a high on the list at the beginning.
no, of course
16
not.
years old going, I want to be a lighting designer and just outdoor.
I know, just outdoor.
Mhm.
And actually, only residential. I don't want to get into any commercial things.
Yeah, I want this to be challenging.
How can I make my life as hard as possible? But it's so rewarding because
Mhm.
what we provide to homeowners is it gives every single night. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. It truly is, because if you're in roofing, and let's just say, well, you can grow a roofing business to 10 million faster than you can outdoor lighting business, which is probably true. HVAC, there's a lot of other ways to make money, but this is something that, like, when you drive up to your house every single night, you're like, man, that makes me feel good. I feel
Yep.
rich, or I feel safe or secure, whatever the feeling is. Like, it is all about how does it affect your life? How does it make you feel? It's pretty special. Like, walk into their backyard, they have their own sanctuary. It's just a cool business to be in. And because we make people feel good, like they want to
Mhm.
be our friends. Like they're like asking us, like their net worth could be $100 million, and they're just so intrigued about like our lives and how we do it and what we do. And they're like almost want to start a lighting business because of how it makes them feel.
Yeah, it is transformative. And we were just going through a study of home improvements. And really, one of the key home improvements that Americans are looking for, according to the study, was making their property a sanctuary, a place to relax. And
Mm.
actually, the number one addition that people are looking for, I think it was 37% of Americans are considering outdoor lighting for their property.
What?
And so we're in a segment that it's looking like outdoor lighting is going to double the size and scope. Like, we go back to like irrigation in the 1980s and 90s was kind of remote and here and there. Golf courses had it. And
Yeah.
now everybody's got irrigation. Lighting is becoming more and more prominent. Like as people are building it out, the industry is growing a lot. And so I see a lot of growth in this industry. And it's something that people are valuing lighting design more and more. But that's part of our education process. Like, hey, a lighting designer is going to make a better lighting design than Harry homeowner just sticking lights in the ground. You could, lighting can look good if a homeowner just put some lights in some trees. It looks better than it did when it's just dark. But
Right.
a lighting designer that pays attention to the details is going to make it look magical, make it look special. And customers, that's really like you could have that customer with 100 million net worth, but they never saw that vision you had to say, this is what your property is going to look like. And building that out is exciting.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I don't get mad at like the solar light industry or Costco or anything like that, because it's just a value ladder. That guy
Yep.
with high net worth still shops at Costco. He's going to be like, you know what, let's do that. And I'm bored because I'm so rich. I'll just
Mhm.
spend the next 4 Saturdays putting in this low voltage system, whatever. They get
Yep.
introduced to it at least, and they're like, wow, that is awesome. And then when it
Yep.
fails, they're like, there's got to be a better way.
Mhm.
Resort to Google, you're van wrapped in the neighborhood, whatever it is. Like it's just there's only a matter of time till they figure out that they need to hire a professional. So
Yeah. It's always a gateway, I think. Like when I see the systems
yeah,
going in, it's like DIY, cheap plastic stuff. Then they go to maybe an entry line. Some guy's just going to throw it into like, all right, now I want to do it right. And I want to do it once. And so those are going to be my customers on the lighting design standpoint. If someone who's like, I want it done right and call you if there's a problem. Perfect.
Yeah, I love it.
Write me a check.
All right, so you guys have stepped up. You guys are doing a cool giveaway for the raffle, a few different
Yep.
things. Talk about what you guys are giving away. And again, guys, if you want to get entered to win our raffle, we have manufacturers and service providers giving away at this point thousands of dollars worth of stuff. So all and you don't have to do anything to qualify other than you're going to come to Light It Up Expo anyway. Just get your ticket right now. Prices go up tomorrow. So what is Sterling giving away?
So we're giving away it's our HS27 path lights. So I have a dream of a product line that is like next level. No one's ever seen anything like it before. And one of the lights that always frustrated me, the architects are always putting the modern L-shaped path light in that gives about 12 inches of light output. They're ugly. They line them up like little soldiers. And I said, how can we make this better? So I built a path light that's the L-shaped path light. We use optics in it to give light spread. It gives about a 15 foot circle of light. It has glare protection, so you're not getting light on the stem. It's made out of 316 stainless steel, and we do a PVD finish. So we have a PVD machine. The two we're giving away are in gold plated. So it's a beautiful, it's just a showstopper. If you want to show somebody actually, when I drive around and I look at properties, so many light fixtures look ugly after 5 years. And it's like, that's one of the issues I really am pushing hard to solve, is like making products that 20 years later look great. And that's what the HS27 is like, really, it's the pinnacle of what I've created in lighting. So
Dude, that's awesome. And these are going to be gold plated?
Yeah, two gold plated, Eagle Claw. I mean, they're beautiful lights. And so it's something if somebody else put it at the
Dubai. The Dubai.
What's that? Dubai. I've heard many jokes like, Trump is the one that's going to put that one gold plated light Trump fixtures. So we're giving away that, and then we're also working on giving away our lighting design package. So as a lighting designer, I always wanted better drawings. I wanted a professional drawing. I wanted some renderings that made sense. So I hired on 2 full-time architects. We do a full scale drawing for somebody. So if we get the address, we use some programs to get, the feel of the property, and we actually do a scale drawing of the property, light placement where we're going to put them, fixture selection, and then we do renderings. So wow. We do also have the ability to do 3D drawings and light abatement studies, light trespass studies. So those are all things we have as extras, but we're going to give away 2 of those packages as well.
2 of those packages. How much? So how much are the Trump gold plated path lights?
They're like 250 is what we're charging right in there. I don't know the exact price, but right about 250. So they're not. It's an expensive light, but it really is special. It's a showstopper. Anytime I bring it out to a customer, like, you want something different that nobody else has, and we could do a custom finish on it of any metal finish with PVD.
Yeah, I love that. You'll challenge those people that will be like, wait, so you're saying most people can't afford this? Okay, yeah. You don't know who I am.
Yeah, yep. That's exactly what it is. Like, somebody says, I want the best of everything.
That's awesome. Okay, so that's sick. And then how much do you charge for your design, the design packages you're giving away?
With our company, we do a $250 design charge. And then if somebody makes a sale, we encourage sales. Like, I am all about, like, you and I talk a lot, like, I'm all about sell your jobs. So if you get a sale, you get $100 credit back on it. So we're giving away 2 of those. That's a bargain.
Okay, so you're giving away 2 of those, $250 in cost, but honestly, the value is way high. Like, for what I've seen, what you guys put out, it's actually worth way more than $250. So I don't know what to put for the value, but it's more than what you're charging.
It's hours of work to create it. So it is, we could scale it to make sense. But if I wanted to get somebody to say, hey, can you do an as-built drawing of a property? It's not easy to get the house to scale, the driveway, everything to scale, and build it out so you could print it off. So that is valuable. And I think that's actually the most valuable thing. Like, everybody loves the renderings, but I think drawings are where we need to really elevate the industry to work from, is like, hey, let's work from drawings to get working documents. You get handed to an architect, hand it to the customer as built, finished project. And they have, drawings of their property and the lighting. So that's something I've done internally on my lighting design business, is building that program out. And now we're sharing it with our customers.
Dude, that is awesome. I'm just telling you guys right now, that's a $1,500 value all day long for you to provide that to your clients. So if I won that, I probably wouldn't go use that on my 15 light project that I'm going to sell this afternoon. But if you have an opportunity that's $20,000 or greater, dude,
Yeah.
you will win the project just simply by going and meeting with the client and showing them that. They're going to be blown away, because I promise your competition does not have that.
Yeah. And actually at Sterling, so far we've measured about an 80% closing percentage with people that have participated in the drawing and renderings. Because it is something, when you show up to the customer's house and like what I do is when I meet them for the first time, I sit down at the kitchen table and I roll out the drawings and start showing, and they're like, what is this? Like, they think I'm meeting the first time. Like, I've already been working on your project for about 10 hours and
Yeah,
we've already
that's awesome.
renderings and drawings and we're ready to get started. So right now I'm just working on like finalizing it, getting you the proposal, getting it signed off so we could schedule the install.
Dude, that is epic. So, man, thanks for being generous. Thanks for offering that to people who get tickets to Light It Up. So, guys, this is the type of value you're going to get when you come to Light It Up. I mean, obviously, you're not going to just come to Light It Up to enter a raffle and potentially win this thing, but like you get to networking and you get to talk. I mean, I'm taking notes right now. I'm learning about things that Pat does that I never did in my lighting business, and it's like you said, Pat, it's like an evolution. Like every day there's something to learn. Even from
Yep.
some of these new guys that have only installed like 5 projects, they have some I mean, they're smart. They have some good ideas that us old dogs are like, oh yeah, I forgot that I used to
Yep.
think, you know, uh, there's just so much that can happen in collaboration at these shows between the manufacturers, the service providers, the other attendees. It's going to be a great show. So I appreciate you guys offering that stuff.
And I really think the best time spent, like, I know how much these shows are to put on and the work that goes behind the scenes, but the best time that people, I really think, get out of it is the relationships that they get at it, and the time when, like, at night downtime, you just get to talk to people. And there's so many of these meetings like this I've gone to that I talk to someone and it just like I look at something in a different way. They see something different because we all get stuck. Like, I've designed a home like this 9 different times. This is the way you do it. And so it's like making sure we're refreshing our minds so that, we can look at it in a new perspective. And I'm really appreciate that you're putting this on and being so involved in it and giving back. So, this is how we all grow in the industry.
Heck yeah, man. I'm excited for it. I'm pretty sure I don't want to calculate. You said, there's a lot of work that goes into it. I'm
Yeah.
probably not going to calculate my losses on this one. We don't do shows to make money. I know you guys put on an awesome event every year, and I'm like, how in the heck do you do it? And then I talked to you and I'm like, oh, okay. So I just wanted to make sure you were losing money like I do on events.
We're going to Greece next year. We are losing a lot of money.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about that real quick before we wrap up? Do you guys have the date solidified yet?
October 19th through the 23rd, I believe. October 19th is the opening day, I know. So
Okay.
we're going to be in Athens at the foot of the Acropolis. Myself and Alphatheria Deco are going to be running it. She did the Greek Olympics. She did the Acropolis. She's one of the top theatrical lighting designers in the world. Restaurants. So we're actually going to go to 3 of her different sites. The final day, we're getting on a boat, taking it out about an hour into the sea and going to one of the isles where she just finished up a project. So it's really just a great time. I mean, it's going to be half day of learning and half day of just touring the Acropolis and the different historical sites. And, if you're a married man and you tell your wife, like, I could go to a conference in Greece, like, your tickets will be booked tomorrow. When I told my wife about Greece a couple of years ago, I didn't know that every woman wanted to go to Greece, and turns out they do.
I know. Who knew? Because I
Yeah.
mentioned it to my wife. She's like, oh, I've been wanting to go there my whole life. Like,
Yeah.
okay, that would have been good to know. But now we're going. So,
Yep. That's going to be a good time. It's going to be a great lighting event. And I fancy myself, I consider myself a lighting designer, but she's next level.
that's awesome. Well, all right, guys, come hang out with me and Sterling. We're going to be at Light It Up next month. It's February 28th, March 1st in Orlando, Florida. It's going to be awesome. So, guys, get your tickets today. Actually, this is our last day of early bird pricing. You could buy your ticket the day before, and we could charge $10,000, and you're still going to get a return on your investment. But if you hate money less, get your ticket today. If you just hate money and want to spend more, then you can wait. But I want to see you guys there. There's going to be so much opportunity to network. I love everything we talked about. Thanks for volunteering your time, your products, your passion, And like I've been telling people, like it literally could be a hallway conversation that changes your life. It's probably not going to come from me speaking up on stage. You know, you've heard me talk before. It's probably going to be from talking to Pat in the hall or someone else that's going to be like, you know what? I never thought about it like that. I can't believe I've been doing this for this long, and I'm going to walk away. That's my gold nugget. So don't miss out, guys. A lot of people are
Don't
like, well, how
wait
much does
till
it
the last
cost?
minute.
I'm
Everybody
like,
waits till the last minute. I don't know why. It's like it's January, New Year.
yeah,
Just do it. Commit.
no, like we're going
We
to
do
sell
it.
like probably 100 tickets like the last week, you know. But I'm telling you, everyone always like, how much does it cost? And they're
Mhm.
asking their own question. The question is, how much is it going to cost you to not be there? Like,
Yeah.
if you understand that, you'd already have your ticket. So, I'll see you guys next month in Orlando. Thanks, Pat.
Thank you.